Yeah, I think in particular for me, the stuff that we've been doing in the pool is going to be something that I'm going to implement pre-training, 10 to 15 minutes of just getting in there, jumping around, doing our exercises. I think improving our mobility is a big thing. But yeah, I think some of the exercises, he's given us a sheet that we're going to put in the gym, hopefully get a few of the other boys here that do it, drag them along with us and teach them how to do a few rolls on the mat. But yeah, I think this is something that's going to be so helpful for training prep and game prep as well.
Those sort of first 4 to 5 steps is something that we've been working on, and that would definitely correlate to leading patterns and exploding out of stoppage and things like that. But I think also just being able to have your body prepared in a set way like he's done, and having the right drills to work on and do to set you up for a solid pre-season and hopefully injury-free pre-season. Injuries happen, but I think now we've got a good base and right step forward to a good pre-season.
Tom, yeah, super fast, super quick. You see that action. Decision-making skills really, really fast and things like that. He plays low, he plays short, and what we have to do is change that posture in him off the pitch. We have to get him taller, get him to grow. When I say taller, it means his running posture and how he expresses force. But he's a low, snaky player in small little places. And we want to do the opposite of that to make him a better athlete out of playing the game.
Straighten that leg out. Straighten that leg out. Hold there, stay there. Drop, 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 drop through the heel. Up, tick, push down. Good, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. Chest forward to neutral position. Remember, there's no resistance going this way. You're not pedaling forward, you're pedaling backwards. There's my squat, okay? 2 fingers are just right there. I'm just having a nice low 50 RPMs. Come on, Joel, 50 RPMs, okay? Easy circles, right? A little bit quicker RPM, because that's like 46, it's not 50.
Will, you can just tell, tall, carries himself really high on that. Doesn't have that same snap speed and explosiveness that someone like Tom has, right? And we're trying to provide an increased level of what we call stiffness. So that just means like when you're jumping and when you land, you're not quite sinking as much. You got a little bit more power. So that's what we're trying to work with him, is just get him a little bit more explosive. It's in general what he's doing is he just keeps bringing the understanding conceptually of what we're trying to achieve. He just keeps rising it up over the 2 weeks. So that's where he's made a really good change. In the water, he did really, really well. And you think water, where does it relate? It's just body control and awareness in the water where your feet aren't touching the floor. And that's important when you're in the air doing things.
I think it's a really good part of the warm-up, get yourself ready for training, because you can prepare in a controlled environment with the things that he's taught us. And then being an explosive player, a lot of what he talks about is that exploding aspect of the game. AFL is very explosive, so change of direction, getting up off the floor, straight into running up and down the field, and then obviously jumping and marking, all that landing. It's a pretty crucial aspect of the game.
Arms, slow it down, absorb the quicker, dash. Here we go. Fast, slow, 3, 2, 1.
Joel, just explosive. He's got good running mechanics. He's got a strong horsepower that he wants to put out. And what we need to do is make sure the suspension of that race car, his body, can handle the engine, horsepower that's putting it into the wheels, so to speak. So an athlete doesn't break down at the ankles, hamstrings, and things like that. So he's got raw power that is expressed into the ground. We got to build some resiliency so that the frame and suspension of the car holds up to it. So that's where he's going.
With pre-season coming up, or my off-season program even, this sort of stuff will be used as a little like warm up before my running session or the pre-season sessions, and then you've also got the pool stuff, which is really good for recovery, but also can be used to warm up muscles after a game when you're a little bit tighter for those sessions in the week. You sort of loosen up your hips and free them up a little bit. So you can sort of use it all throughout training, pre, post, and almost during your weight. So all facets of training it can go into really.
It's to feel light, loose, easy. And pause. Right? Okay? Stop. Yes. Yes, Joe. Good. It's the initial boom, 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 getting going. That's what we need to focus on quite a bit, right? The rest of it, you already have something built in. You can always improve it, but if we can improve the initial acceleration, that's important.
Logan did really, really well as well. I would say there's this term that we use, we ought to be really confident that we push versus squish when we're doing change of direction, landing type things. And it means that sometimes there's just a little delay in what we call the stiffness to put force into the ground. So you can be a little bit soft in your landing, you can be a little bit slow in how the foot hits the ground to like jump and be explosive. And it's learning to develop this kind of stiffness in Logan. It's not slow. It's just, it's a term that we just say it's like a little bit conservative in how he's expressing that force. And once he understands what he needs to do, yeah, it's going to make a massive difference in his game.
Building that connection with your brain, you're always thinking you're doing stuff that might take a while for your brain to sort of catch up. So building that trust again between my ankle and my brain is probably the main thing that I've noticed. So some movements that sort of taken me a couple of days that I've just forgotten how to do post-surgery that I knew how to do pre-surgery pretty easily. So I think that's something that I'm really going to take out of this 2 weeks is sort of getting back to my left ankle, sort of feeling like my right ankle again, and being able to trust myself in those movements with jump, landing, sprinting, deceleration, and then also change of direction as well.
First thing I think of straight away is just how valuable this experience has been, just for both our playing group, but also for our medical and athletic performance staff who have been around the experience. I think individually, the athletes have learned a lot about their bodies. We've learned a lot about their bodies, but we've also learned lots of strategies to implement ways to make our players better football playing athletes. His reputation within the industry is really significant, but what we've seen from him when he's been here has absolutely outweighed the reputation he's had. His ability to coach our athletes, to give them cues that resonated with them, his ability to use play in games to drive some of the movements. Bill spoke a lot about being a sort of former PE teacher and creating games and the constraints of games to create different movements that he wanted. It was unbelievably impressive. And then his ability to link things. You know, we were at the start of the week doing exercises on the ground, and then 3 or 4 sessions in, he'd be linking 1 or 2 of those exercises that we did back on the ground. You know, we would be doing some stuff in the pool, and then on the trampoline, he'd reference the exercise that we did in the pool and how that's the same shape that we're now making on the trampoline, and it really resonated with our players. You know, it clicked in their minds as to why they were doing things, and it was just a really consistent thread of coaching throughout the entire week.